any fast bowler. Sherwin Peters gets his 4th wicket, and it's all happening here at the Carib Lumber Park.
Well, the batsman so far, Joel Brown probably taking suit from Renel LeBlanc, both batsmen losing the stumps with the very first delivery that they have faced. And Joel, we can see from his physique that he's a very strong guy. He does a lot of time in the gym. But on that occasion, looking to hit the ball out of the park, not making any contact whatsoever, only to see his middle stump uprooted. So 136 now for 6 as Joel departs.
Well, after seeing that shot, he should probably spend a little less time at the gym and more time in the nets as he leaves the arena. 136 for 6 at the moment. And I tell you something, that was a lovely sight for any fast bowler.
Well, it brought up the hat-trick for Sherwin Peters as well. He has taken 4 for 18 from 3.4. And I don't know if one bowler can bowl at least 4 overs. 3 can bowl 4, so I think the captain would have definitely made a mistake in not having Sherwin Peters bowl his 4.
Well, a hat-trick on the opening day. Comes in on bowls, and this delivery is worked away down to long on for 1. They're going to go back for 2. This is good running. And Peters completing a hat-trick on the opening day here of this Cricket for Life tournament. The star of the show so far, 4 wickets. How many deliveries he has to go, Charlene? Just 1. So he's taken 4 for 20. 1 delivery to go again. And he has been absolutely brilliant here today. He has an equal rate of 5.2. Just a 4 and a 6 struck off his bowling. And if you take that 4 and 6 out, Carty, that's 10 runs.
It's very good bowling from Sherwin Peters. He normally bats well and bowls well for the Spartans team. He used to play for the Leeward Islands Hurricanes. I think he got 100 against Jamaica at one occasion, but has lost faith with the selectors so far. And in my view, I really think he should be out of the Leeward setup. He really can bat. As he goes away from us now to bowl to Ali.
He bowls, and this delivery is squirted away down to long leg. I think it's going to run away into the boundary for 4. No, it holds up out there. They get 2. So 2 more to the total. He ends his spell with 4 for 22. Take a bow, young man. It was a wonderful spell of bowling. It's 140 for 6. And just 1 over to go. Remember, this opening encounter is an 18 over affair.
4 for 20 from 4 overs. And I think Sherwin should be very proud of such bowling performances. And of course, Ali has 2 and LeBlanc has 22. Has not been on strike for a while. And with 1 over remaining, and it looks as though Crickshank is going to bowl that over. And can the team get up, the combined team at least get up to 148 or thereabout, or even 150? Cruikshank is on his way to bowl to LeBlanc. In fact, loses his run as LeBlanc backed away.
Well, the last over to go. And score for 140 for 6. Well, runs on the board are runs on the board. We'll see what will happen. Yeah, he is. He bowls, and that's a good delivery. Not been able to stop it off his own bowling. In fact, he did stop it, but was not able to gather and keep it. So 1 more, 5 deliveries to go, Carty. Your prediction?
I would say 147 or 146. Final score.
Well, here it's Cruikshank. He bowls, and he allowed him a view of the entire stumps. The wicketkeeper makes a meal of something that I think Charlene could have stopped. And they get a single, a bye. Very surprised the umpire didn't call that wide there, Carty, because it was down the leg side.
But I thought the batsman got inside the wicket, and as a matter of fact, outside the lineup, the awesome before the ball was bowled, so probably that might have prevented umpire from signaling wide. So 142 now for the loss of 6.
And here he is again. He comes in now on bowls, and this is a nice shot down the ground. There's 1 bounce to Cruikshank. So putting, in fact, 1 of Cruikshank's bowling, he has taken none for 29. So 3 deliveries to go. Carty is saying 146. Let's see what will happen. Cruikshank comes, and this is pulled away down to young Carty. He's going to stop it to make his father look good, and he does that. It's 146 for 6. Well, wonderful work there, Keith.
I've been around this game for a fairly long time, Vinod, and This final score here is 146 for the loss of 6. Ali finishes unbeaten on 4, and LeBlanc is 25 from 24 balls, and the score needs 147. Spartans need 147 for the loss of 1. Cornelius, he was he bowled Peters for 3 from 6 balls. Gabriel Isaac was bowled Bonwell for 32 from 23 balls. Martina was bowled Fernandez from 1 from 4 balls. Eugene, the mainstay of this inning so far, was bowled Peters for 66 from 44 balls. LeBlanc not out 25 from 24 balls. Blondell was bowled by Peters for no score. He only faced 1 ball. The very same thing happened to Brown. He also departed for no score from 1 ball. And Ali Khan was not out 4 from 5 balls. And that's the latest score, 146 for the loss of
US Open, 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 US
We playing cricket. We playing cricket.
I came in to win, so I'm here for the fight. Got my T20 drink and I'm feeling real hype. I didn't come this far just to catch the next flight. Better up first swing, 3 wickets, no stride.
So I gotta win.
All on the line, I gotta bid. They say hard work pay off, or some gotta give.
Well, I know what I gotta give.
My best because this time I gotta win.
Time for the
US Open, US Open, US Open, US Open, US Open, US
ready for the
US Open,
We playing
US
cricket.
Open, US
We playing cricket.
US Open,
We playing cricket. We playing cricket. We playing cricket.
Well, welcome back to the Carib Ball Lumber Park, and we are going to see the start of the innings. Spartan, remember, they're chasing 147 to win this opening encounter of the Cricket4Life tournament here in St. Martin. And batting first, the Lions, they scored 146, as was mentioned earlier. Top scoring John Eugene with 66, and a wonderful bowling effort by Sherwin Peters. He got 4 for 22, including a hat-trick. So opening the bowling now is Farhan Ali from Ohio. He's playing with the combined 11, and a number of you would have heard of Ali Khan, who played for the TKR. Well, he was his training. He has been Ali Khan's training mate since probably the age of 12. Those two would have driven 5 hours from Ohio to Chicago to play in the Midwest Cricket Tournament, and you know, both developing nicely. Ali has gone ahead to represent the Trinbago Knight Riders, and of course he is with the American team currently in Dubai. Played 1 game there, took 4 for 27. So Farhan Ali is here, and he is going to open the bowling. He is bowling from just under the Century Hills, a lovely picturesque venue, and normally there's a line down that mountain. Good afternoon, Keith. Keith is telling me that it takes you actually 45 seconds to come down the mountain.
Well, good afternoon to you, Vinod, of course. This match is very interestingly poised. 147 runs needed for victory. The 2 opening batters, it's Casey Carty and Kyle Louis. And they'll be bowling to a solitary slipper third man. A backward point is also extra cover, mid-off. There's also a mid-on and a short mid-wicket position and a man down on the square leg boundary.
So just a slip to start, as here is Farhan Ali. He runs in from the far end, passes the umpire. In fact, he pulls up, not just ready, puff of dust you can see just blowing across the ground. I don't know if that would have greeted him as he approached the crease. It's very dusty out here.
Yes, we've been experiencing some severe dry weather really. As a result of that, the place is very dusty. Plus, there have been some excavation of the grounds, moving whatever there is to be moved. So you'd have many areas where the soil is very bare. And with the breeze like this, it will be blown in very often.
Here is a Farhan, and again he pulls up. So he's not comfortable at the moment. I know there's a hump about, I'll say 8 to 10 feet just before you reach the sticks at the other end. The groundsman was explaining to me that in his absence, rolling of the pitch was done whilst it was wet. And whoever was rolling it, they just stopped at the crease. So there's a bit of a ridge. Here is Farhan again. Comes in from the fire for his first delivery. It's a swinging delivery, and it goes down to a deep backward square for 1. But a good delivery to Kati. That one was swinging in the air. You could have actually seen it starting to move away from Kati in the air. He gets it down behind square for 1.
Off the mark, not where you would have wanted. Looking to go a lot straighter in a portion of the back found down to backward square. So he's off the mark at least. Spartans, they're off and running. So another 146 runs is required for victory. And Ali so far, he's looked like he can be a force to be reckoned with by his approach so far in the middle. And he can get his line length correct. Well, just might probably see a wicket going his way.
Ali won the player of the tournament at the Unity Cup in Chicago last year. That's a good delivery. He's bowled him. A beauty of a delivery. And I thought that is the ball of the day. That pitched on middle there, Keith. It took out off stump. It knocked back off stump. What a delivery from Casey Kati. And as you called it, Keith, you seem to be you seem to have a crystal ball in front of you.
Kyle just got a delivery that probably would have gotten anyone out. And as he pushed forward, lost his off stump in the process. And wicket 1 has fallen for the Spartans. So far from the combined stars, and they have really started well. They've gone with the first wicket. Louis was bowled by Ali for 1 for no score really, and the score now 1 for 1.
Well, I love the delivery on that occasion. I was saying before, his very first delivery to Kati, he was getting the ball to shape away. This one was pitched perfectly. It was pitched on middle. It knocked back off. It did enough to beat the outside edge of a prodding bat there by Louis. And I tell you something, as Keith was saying, that could have gotten any batsman out. What a delivery there from Farhan Ali. He's immediately going to go around the wicket to the left-handed Tejnarayan Chandapal. So he's going to bring the ball back into the left-hander. Let's see how he approaches this. And I don't think the fielder just realizing is a left-hander. And he should be going on the offside. In fact, he's now taking away the slip, primarily because of the fact that he's going to bring the ball back into Chandapal. He's not going to angle it across him, and he's staying over the wicket.
Well, I think with an early wicket has been picked up so far, I would have wanted to slip there at least to catch the ball if it goes past the keeper. And in fact, he's gone to a short wicket position, and Ali Khan is going to continue from over the wicket to bowl to the left-handed Tejnarayan Chandapal.
Well, here's Farhan Ali. He comes in now on the bowls, and that's a good delivery down the leg side. It's called wide, so he's not control. He has to control the swing. I said before, it's going to swing into Chandapal. It did. I think he probably needs to start at a 4th stump and look to bring it back into the right-hander. The left-hander, sorry.
Well, very good over in progress so far here by Ali. And after picking up the wicket of Kyle Louis, we had ball off stump. And clearly the ball is new, so it will swing a bit. Bowling into the breeze, so that may aid the process of the ball swing after pitching as he comes in out to bowl to
Chandapal with a wide open stance. Here he is on both same, and that delivery tails into the left-hander. He gets it away somehow to mid-wicket for 1. So that's a good ball again there from Ali. You could have seen it just coming in to the left-hander. Chandapal squeezes it out to mid-wicket. Let's see how Kati goes now as he is going to face.
Lots of 1, Kurt 1, comes down to half strike to Ali once more, so Chandapal is off the mark. The batsman out so far, Kyle Louis, was bowled off stump by Ali for no score. And just remind you, the target in pursuit is 147 for victory. And as I speak, Ali is going to come into bowl to the right-handed batsman in Casey Carty. And there's a solitary slip, a backward point. There's also a short third man. They all go down as Ali comes in out to bowl to Carty. And Carty is looking to hit the ball very hard. Matthew should be just looking to push it around. In the end, another delivery has gone.
Carty has to be careful here. He's swinging the ball, so he has to be very careful. He has to get as close as possible to it. And on that previous occasion, his left foot was actually planted outside the leg stump, and he's looking to play through the off. He has to be very careful here, Carty. He probably needs to watch him for a few deliveries. We all know what Casey Carty can produce, but he needs to probably be a bit watchful and just show him some respect at the moment.
I think he should be doing the exact same thing as you were suggesting, but he's in the middle and he'll have to work it out. As Ali comes into bowl to him once more. Passes umpire just about now to deliver. Carty is off the back foot looking to hit the ball some in the onside. Ball hitting the low portion of the bat and trickle out to right off. Where he collected a single and total pushes on by 4 now for the loss of 1.
So Farhan Ali is really creating some problems here at the moment. It's looking to break into the U.S. national team. Here is Ali again. The first over still in progress. He comes in now and bowls outside the off stump, pushing that one across Chandapol. I thought the umpire was a bit harsh on that occasion to have called that wide. And the score is 5 for 1.
I thought the ball passed over the line, but the umpire thought different. So the extras advances by 1, and also the total has now 5 for 1. Yep. 47.
So just after 12 here in paradise, so to speak. After this game, there will be a short break, and game number 2 comes up at 2 o'clock. And Charlene has promised to go home and to cook the local dish for the boys in the commentary booth. Here is Adi outside the off stump, and that delivery is not called wide. It's the end of the over, but that was similar to the previous one. The end of a good over from Farhan Ali, and the end of it, the score 5 for 1. Spartans, remember, they're chasing 147.
Well, it's the sort of over that any team would want in their quest to prevent the batting team from getting to 147. And he's done so. Only 5 runs scored from the over. He's picked up the wicket of Louis, and as I speak, it looks as though it's going to be seen from this end or a spin from this end.
So we're going to see spin.
Shah is going to pick up the attack from this commentary box end.
Yes, Shah is going to bowl from this end. And, Shah had a good time last night at the boat. Meet and greet. Didn't see you there, Keith. Meet and greet for the players and the media and the sponsors and officials at the boat downtown.
I was there, Vinod. I didn't see you either.
Oh.
I was a bit tipsy, of course. It was a real nice welcoming for the guys. And really had a good time.
Well, here's Shah. He's going to bowl to Carty. Carty comes nicely forward and drives. Oh, what a lovely shot. The young man looked as if he had a day and a half to play that shot, and that's a hallmark of a good batsman. Anytime a batsman has time to play his shots, it's a hallmark of a good batsman.
Well, the beauty in that shot is the placement he put the ball. Really struck between mid-off and cover. Once they find that gap, he's always going to run away for 4. And they did exactly that. Didn't bother to move. And as I speak, there might be a change in the field. And Shah would be very disappointed with that delivery. It wasn't a full toss, of course. You have to put him away. And Casey Carty did exactly that.
Well, the young man who went to get water for us at 6:30 this morning, he has returned with a sheet of ply. He's putting on a roof for the cameraman and at the side of us. It's all wonderful here. Very strong breeze still about the place. Shah is going to continue. He's struck by Carty for 4 of his first delivery. So there's a field change now as Midon goes across to strengthen the offside field. Carty seems to have a preference for the offside. Here is Shah again. He comes in and bowls to Carty. Carty is looking to drive. Hits this along the track, back to Shah. And you could see Shah just fearing the pace on that last delivery. Comes in again around the wicket. Oh, this is a lovely shot again. Enough time to get one. And the score pushes on nicely to 9, is it now? 10? 10 for 1.
He goes to 7. The score is now 10 for the loss of 1. The run rate so far is 6.7 runs and over. Of course, the target is 147. And the Spartans will just need to bat sensibly. They have 18 overs to do this. And get themselves the first win of this tournament. And probably wait back and see the outcome of this match this afternoon between, I think it's Sanford All-Stars and Angola 11.
Sanford All-Stars being led by Zishan Qureshi. Includes Shivnarine Chandapal, Dwayne Smith, Suleiman Ben, and Bilal Qureshi all the way from Australia. Here is Shah. He comes in on balls. This is outside the off stump, looking to force through the offside down to the man at the edge of the circle at mid-off. There is no run. So the Spartan team, the #1 team here in St. Martin. Shah comes in again and bowls. This is whipped away by Chandapal. Runs here for him, and it goes right down onto the deep backward square boundary. He comes back for 2. So Chandapal is not a basher. He's going in this format. He'll be better served looking to just rotate the strike, get the 1s and 2s, and probably try to put away the bad ball.
Well, of course, the two players plays for South Cricket. Chandapal, of course, for Guyana, and Casey Carty for the Leewards. Both batsmen really opens the batting, so this will come as no surprise to them.
Shah comes in. And this is Chandapal trying to go downtown. He goes over the man at mid-on, down to the boundary, and that goes for 4. So 4 runs to Tejaran Chandapal.
Yes, four runs to him. Of course, I don't think that Shah has really bowled a very good over. So far, the score is pushed on by 16 for the loss of 1. And we've seen some 10, 11 runs in that over. And clearly, I really wouldn't bowl Shah for a second over at least. Just not yet.
The Shah goes for 11, 16 for 1, and Farhanadi is going to continue from the far end, from the Century Hills end.
Of course, there's Keon Hamilton on this All-Star team. Probably he might be just doing some boosting exercises now in anticipation of the bowl. But we'll have to wait and see whether or not that materializes.
So Khati has before him a challenge, and it's going to come in the form of Farhan Ali. There's a change in the field as the mid-off comes to mid-on, and the mid-on goes right back on the boundary at square leg. So let's see what Ali could produce. Third man comes into the circle.
Well, Ali fairly long distance as well. My recent viewing of cricket, I can't really recall seeing a pace bowler running from that far. So no doubt he's a rhythm bowler. You need to get, rhythm into his approach as he goes up to deliver the ball. And so far, he looked a good picture, and Carty would have to be very careful with him as he turns in the distance and comes into bowl to Carty once more.
So Farhan Ali getting the first breakthrough here for his team. Looking for another one now. He passes the umpire bowls. That's a slow delivery. Worked away by Carty just to the left of mid-on for a single. So he's off strike. Score 17 now for 1.
And of course they're rotating the strike fairly well. We are in the 3rd over now. Already the score is 17. Chandapal has 7 from 5 deliveries. Carty has 8 from 8. And the current run rate, of course, is 7.3 runs and over as Ali turns in the distance to come into bowl to Tejaran Chandapal once more, who goes on, does a bit of gardening to the track, and looks around and sees that Ali is very much with him.
So this is a production coming to you courtesy Mark TV. We were in Houston last week. This weekend we're in St. Martin. So you're getting all the cricket all over the place. Good delivery. Chandapal comes forward, leans on it, plays it to point. no run. So you can see the lovely pictures here at this ground. Lovely country, St. Martin. When we first drove into the island on, well, yesterday, I think our breath was taken away by the views, the lovely beaches, the mountains. It's really wonderful across here. So Farhan Ali was had a good time so far. Outside the off stump, this is played away to cover. One more to Chandapal. Score goes on to 18 for 1.
Well, there you see some indiscretion between running and a wicket. The previous delivery, Carty was looking for the single, but the ball was still right there in that backward point position, and Chandapal, realizing that, held up a restraining arm and having a shy at the stumps. Carty, in my view, might have been out had the ball hit the stumps, but on this occasion, they have two for the single. Very well run. So the total has pushed on by 1 to 18 for the loss of 1.
Ali again, a wiry figure. Back of a leg, pushed away on the offside, no run.
Looking at the track, to me, I've been somewhat surprised. To me, the track is playing a bit slower than it usually does. I don't know if it looks so from the commentary box, but down at the ground level, it might be different. But normally, the track comes on, and from what I've seen so far, it looks as though it's a bit slow here so far. As Ali comes into bowl to Carty once more.
Has a very long run up, as Keith was saying. Ball to Carty. Carty is dropped. Looking to go through the onside, in and out of the hands. Is that Gabriel there?
No, that's the captain, Molan LeBlanc.
So LeBlanc puts it down. Carty lives to fight another day. It's the end of another good over there by Farhan Ali. He's taken 1 for 7. It could have easily been 2 for 7 after 2. And the score 18 for 1 after 3. After that let off, Carty would want to make the combined speed.
But when the combined teams batted, after 6 overs, they were 18. After 3 overs, they were 18 for I think 1 at that stage. And I think the second wicket fell at 19. So far, they are scoring the runs at a very similar rate. And Carty just been given a chance. We'll have to really capitalize on that chance and make the fielding team pay. Well, LeBlanc is the captain. And he would want to say, well, I need to lead from the front. He didn't do that on that occasion and letting Carty off the hook.
You don't drop a man like Carty. We'll see how much that will cost the combine.
Well, as I speak, it's going to be Keon Tumbleton will pick up the attack from the commentary box, and he's going to replace Shah, who just bowled 1 over, and I think he was struck for 11 runs. So we'll have to wait and see what Keon Pemberton's approach is going to be. He'll be bowling to Tejaran Chandapal, and the score is 18 for the loss of 1. Partnership of 17 runs so far between these two, with Louis going for no score. Here is Pemberton as he goes into bowl to Chandapal.
Pemberton, Sint and bowls, and that's Chandapal whipping it away. Wristy shot. It's going to run away into the boundary for 4. So a lovely shot by Chandapal. Delivery back up a length, just got back and whipped it away. Very strong wrist. And through mid-wicket down to the boundary for 4.
On an outfield as quick as this, from the time you play that ball and it goes past the inner ring, well, you're going to have to be contented to just pick up and retrieve from the boundary. And that is exactly what happened. Gabriel was in hot pursuit, but only to retrieve, really. And the ball went into the boundary for 4. So good shot from Chandapal. He goes by that 4 now to 12, and the score 22 for 1.
Not a bad delivery from Pemberton. So it's just back for length, and Chandapal was able to maneuver it nicely. Pemberton in both to Chandapal, he's back and just plays it away. Again, back off a length, plays it away to short cover, and there is no run.
Well, there's what, 3-5 men in the offside, and of course, as Pemberton runs away from us to bowl to
Chandapal stands tall, pushes on the offside again.
And to me, Chandapal is really killing that shot. When the ball hits the bat, the face of the bat is facing downwards. Instead of, you know, the ball should come off the bat in a squarish direction. And as a result of that, two balls pitch in similar length, played the similar shot.
I thought the previous delivery was just basically patting it. Here is Pemberton again. Bowls, and this time he works it away just to the right of Shah. Good stop. Gets a single.
Three for the last one. Carty goes down to half strike to Ian Pemberton for the very first time. And looking before us, there is a zip line, of course. It's on its way up to the hilltop. And as I said earlier, it takes a mere 45 seconds to get from that hill right down to the bottom.
Yeah, it's Pemberton again. Strapped fast bowler. Outside the off stump, no run.
So we saw the delivery, a slow delivery from Ian Pemberton to Casey Carty. Just outside the end of the off stump, pace taking off the ball. And Carty allowed the ball to go through to the keeper and Renel Blondell. So there is a third man, a backward point. There's also a cover, extra cover, mid-off. There's also mid-on. A short and straight mid-wicket and a short backward square. Here is Pemberton as he goes in out to bowl to Carty, who whips it off the pad out towards the fine leg boundary. It's gone away for 4 runs. So from the time he got in line with that medium leg stump, he just turned the face on the ball and away it sped out towards the backward square boundary, and that's gone away for 4. Carty has now gone to 12, and the score has pushed on to 27 for the loss of 1. Chandapal is unbeaten on 13, and that's the latest score here. The score so far, I'm scoring the runs at 6.8 runs and over so far, but just to remind you of the target in pursuit for victory, 147.
So 27 for 1, Chandapal 13 of 11, Carty 12 of 12. Both players have been in there for a while now. They'll be looking to push on. Proper batting will get them past 147. It's not a huge score.
Well, it's a type of score that if you don't approach it sensibly, you can find yourself losing wickets. And to lose Louis with the very first delivery that he faced, and I think the score was, what, 1 for 1 at that stage, they will need to really calculate the approach and get into that 147.
Ali, 2 impressive overs thus far. He comes in now to bowl to Chandapal. And this delivery is whipped away by Chandapal. It's going to go behind square. Would it go into the boundary? No, just a single. So that delivery again coming into the left-hander, but starting too straight, Ali. And he's able to work it around the corner for 1.
Well, this is what the 5th over in progress. And I think that the score was, what, 40 at the end of the power play when the combined teams batted, or 44 thereabout. But it's going to be Casey Carty to half strike to Ali once more. And Ali starts as a very straight approach as he comes into bowl to Carty. In fact, there is some field adjustments being made. And the man out at cover has been pushed right back on the extra cover boundary. And mid-on comes into that cover position. And as he comes into bowl to Carty once more.
Well, here he is. He runs in, passes the umpire, bowls. Oh, that's a lovely shot. A brilliant shot there from Carty. Over-pitch delivery. He was just able to play with nice high elbows, nice straight bat coming down, and a textbook shot into the boundary for 4.
Well, from the time he saw the length of that delivery, he just went into the over the top of mid-off and down to the boundary for 4 runs. And he's a very small man, but he times the ball fairly well. And from what I've noticed, I think he's pretty complete plays on both sides of the wickets, and that all argues well for him as a batsman. 16 he has, the total 32 for the loss of 1.
Carty, the homeboy. We've heard a lot about him since arriving here. Here is Farhan Ali again. He comes in and Carty looks to muscle this one through the offside. That one was just pitched back of a leg. It wasn't right up for the drive. And he can't beat the man standing there at mid-off. So the score remains 31, is it? Or 32 for 1.
Ali turns in the distance. And the fielders are in their positions. In fact, it looks as though Jamie Cornelius, the division player who's flown in for this match, is going to go down to the long off boundary. And fine leg comes within the 30-yard circle in Pemberton. So there is a long off, extra cover. There's also a man sleeping on a cover boundary, a cover point, a backward point, and a third man as Ali comes up now to bowl to Carty. And Carty is being judged LBW, looking to slug a ball in my view, when he should be just looking to go up and down the track, and in the end losing his cool. And up goes the finger of Elijah Stapleton.
Well, I thought Carty didn't pick the slower ball. That was a slower delivery by Farhan Ali, and Carty was through the shot even before he was struck. And I think his eyes would have lit up, seeing the ball coming towards him as if it was going to be in the slot to go over mid-on. What he misjudged, though, was the speed of it. It was a slower delivery, and Carty is on the way. So Casey Carty leaves. The score 32 for 2. Farhan Ali strikes again. Ali now 2 for 12.
A good wicket to get at this stage. They're now 32 for the loss of 2 in 4.4 overs. And Ali has really bowled well so far. He's picked up the 2 wickets to have fallen. First he had Louis bowled off stump, and now Carty adjudged LBW by Elijah Stapleton. And the batsman is Shawan Peters, so the Spartans need to be very careful here. And
Said Keith that 146 is not a big total, but runs on the board are runs on the board. Farhan Ali has set the cat amongst the pigeons, so to speak, with 2 very early wickets, including that of Casey Carty. And Shawan Peters needs to be watchful here.
Well, when the cat is among the pigeons, normally feathers fly. And I hope that Spartans can really analyze the approach so far. But Peters is one of the better batsmen. And there's the Spartans team, there's still Hakeem Charles and others to come. So there will be no need for immediate panic. But they will need to at least steady the ship, steady the flow of wickets, and build themselves a partnership between himself and Tejarain Chandapal.
So, Ali, how would he love to get Peters now?
As I've been saying, if Ali can continue to bowl, so far he's picked up 2 for 2.4, and he has been the mainstay of this all-star team so far in the bowling, and has been a very good performance from him so far as he comes out to bowl to the new batsman.
Yes, Farhan Ali. That delivery is played back to him. In fact, he did get batted, and did Chandapal, he did get his hand to it. And Chandapal is an appeal for a run out against Chandapal, but he lives to fight another day.
Well, I thought
that's very interesting. If he did get hand onto that, Chandapal is out run out because he was way outside of his crease.
I thought Shawan played the ball into the turf and then back to Ali. So from my position, I don't think it was a catch, but Chandapal has to be very careful as to how far he backs up. And Peters is in his stance as he looks up and sees that Ali is very much with him.
Here's Ali. That's a good delivery. Peters watchful, using all his experience at the moment. And a good over from Farhan Ali. So they've seen him off 3 overs, 2 for 12.
A very good bowling performance from him so far. And he has taken 2 wickets for only 12 overs and 3 overs. He just might have 1 more over remaining. And this stage is 5 overs gone. 6 coming up, and the power play was what? 6 overs or 5 overs was the power play score? You can help us on that? 6 overs was the power play. Okay, so it can be 5 overs of power play. 32 for 2. Peters is unbeaten. He's not yet off the mark. Chanderpaul has 14. And Pemberton is going to continue from the commentary box, and he'll be bowling to Chanderpaul. So there is a motion of fields mellow everywhere. Cover has gone back to the cover point boundary. There's also mid-wicket gone across to a backward point position, and then extra cover gone across to where extra cover would be for a normal left-hander. And the bails have blown off once more with this very strong breeze we have blowing across this outfield here. Of course, that will aid in the cooling process of the players. This is match number 1 of this T20 tournament. Match number 2 is scheduled to get on the way when this one commences. Finishes really, with the Adam Stanford All-Stars doing battle against the Angola team. So Pemberton is at the top of his mark and just waiting patiently for the bails to be replaced. They are now. And Chanderpaul goes in stance as Pemberton goes away from us now to bowl to him.
Yes, Pemberton to Chanderpaul. Outside the off stump, and he's looking to play square off the wicket. The delivery keeps a bit low, true to the wicketkeeper. And Chanderpaul has all the mannerisms of his legendary father. He's very fidgety at the crease. Touches his helmet, you can see. He then fixes his arm guard, touches both gloves now. He's going to very soon touch the pads. Fixes the chest guard. Taps.
Similar to his father, he used to touch almost everything he had on before he faced the ball.
Pemberton, outside the off stump, way outside the off stump, it's going to be called wide.
Pemberton is marked there, and good wicket keeping from Renell. He just skipped across to his left and gloved it in nicely. The total 32 for 2. Peters is yet to score. Chanderpaul has 14 from 13 deliveries. Of course, the crowd still continues to build as the ground become very much surrounded with many vehicles. And Pemberton is at the top of his mark. Again, the bails have been blown off as he will go away to bowl to Chanderpaul once more.
Enshrine Chanderpaul, a member of the Guyana Jaguars setup. 5-time reigning Caribbean champions in the first class level. This delivery is down to third man for 4. He was playing way away from his body, and he is able to just get it away down to third man. He'll take the 4 anyhow it comes, and the score goes on now to 37 for 2.
Well, it was a controlled shot. The ball was wide of the off stump. Chanderpaul went back and just opened the face of the bat and stayed it down to third man, and stayed it fine enough to beat the man down on the third man boundary. And he has gone down by that boundary now to 18 and has put to 37 for 2 in the 6th over. And Pemberton is around the wicket to bowl to him once more. In fact, he loses his run. We'll have to turn as he goes back to bowl to Chanderpaul once more.
Outside the off stump and an under edge as Chanderpaul followed that. He got an under edge and it dropped short of the wicketkeeper.
Chanderpaul, in my view, really playing with the bat face angling towards the ground. And if he should just play that bat, get the bat more horizontal, I think the ball would have stayed to the right of backward point and across the man boundary for 4 more once again. But that's how he plays. And
well, there's a big bus, a big yellow bus just moving behind Chanderpaul at the moment. And the driver, of course, stopped to take in a couple deliveries. He's seeing Pemberton running towards him. And Chanderpaul goes through the onside. This is going to go away into the boundary for 4.
It was a delivery that somewhere in line with middle stump, and Chanderpaul just swung through the line, and as the captain Molan LeBlanc dived, this ball has already gone past him and into the boundary for 4. And he has pushed the total on now to 41. He has 22. Peters is yet to get off the mark. In fact, And right now, Chanderpaul is having the bulk of the strike. So far, so good.
So this is over number 6. He's on 22, Chanderpaul. This delivery is a slower one. It's on the legs. It's signaled wide by the umpire and the batsman cross. So that's 2 runs to the total. The score goes on now to 43 for 2. And Chanderpaul is on 22. And showing Peters, just the 2 deliveries so far. He takes strike now.
Well, 4 more runs required for victory. Of course, after this, 6 overs, we will have another 12. So 74 runs to get from 12 overs. But the batting that Spartans has yet to come. Huh? Sorry, sir. The batting that Spartans has to come, they would probably fancy them chances of getting beyond that 147.
So Pemberton, 2 deliveries to go in is over. He runs in now, bowls to Peters. Peters whips this away nicely. Oh, that's a classy shot. Over pitch, he just went airborne over the head of Farhan Ali. In fact, yes, it was at square leg, down to the boundary for 4.
Well, Peters is a classy batsman, so that shot, you know, would do his confidence a world of good. He's off the mark for the total 47 for the loss of 2. Chanderpaul is unbeaten on 22 from 16 deliveries. The current run rate so far is 8.1 runs and over. 8.2 runs and over already. And of course, Spartans would need to get a victory if they are to push their chances of going further in this tournament. And the man to do that for them is Sherwin Peters. Pemberton has just been whipped off the pad out towards the square leg boundary. He'll need to get his direction right as he ponders at the top of his mark.
So just 1 delivery to go. He'll be looking to end strongly. A lot of work went into making this facility ready for this tournament. Cricket for Life. Definitely going to be a yearly event. Outside the off stump, Peters pulls at this. It's in the air. He's in problems. He's out. He's dropped him. In and out. And that, I think, could be the game. That one went in and out of the fielder's hands down at the backward square on the boundary. And Sherwin Peters gets a chance.
Well, that's one of the youth players here. Very talented player. Good, normally fields and catches well and bats well as well and bowls well, but on this occasion didn't get it right. And had he done so, he just would have seen the back of Sherwin Peters. And but that was not to be. Peters is still there. He has 5, pulling to a short delivery from Pemberton and out. In fact, the fielder right back on the square leg boundary, getting both hands to it and spilling the milk. But Peters is unbeaten, still on 4, the total 48 for 2.
Well, that was another big miss. So the fielding hasn't been up to par. At the end of 6. Scoring rate 8 at the moment.
Well, here is the, in fact, it's Nathan Edwards. Normally he opens the bowling for the youth team that he plays for here. With the new ball, normally gets the ball to swing into the right-handed batsman. So he's just put down Sherwin Peters, and here he has now to come and bowl to him. Well, the ball is not new anymore, so we hope that he can put that drop catch behind of him and begin to do exactly what he needs to do.
Well, Farhan Ali has gone up to him with some advice. Let's see what a young man can do. One wonders if that drop catch had anything to do with his confidence. In fact, this delivery didn't come up as Peters anticipated. He was looking to pull it square. He was struck on the pad. So the young man has a very long run up. It's a left arm bowling around the wicket to Peters.
Normally he gets the ball to really swing prodigiously, but we'll have to wait and see whether or not that happens. And Peters is the batsman, so there's a long on and a long off. There's also a right wicket boundary as Edwards comes into bowl to Peters once more.
Here's Edwards, and this delivery is worked away straight down the ground by Peters, and it's going to go for 4. So a lovely shot by Peters, and the runs continue to flow. At the moment, the current runner will take them easily past the total.
Well, long on is much too wide for my likings, really. It should be a lot straighter than that. And with the batsman driving the ball as straight as he has, he would get four almost every time. And as I speak, his long on is going to go a bit straighter. But on an outfield as quick as this, if Sean Peters really times the ball well, is going to always run into the boundary for four.
Peters is bowled, is he? Well, for a moment I thought I saw the young man celebrating and Peters turning away. So Peters again struck on the pad. And what this young man is doing here, Keith, is getting the ball to skid on. How much skid he's getting on it, with the dry conditions out there and the pitch, of course, being dry, I can't see. But because of the low trajectory of his delivering arm, he's causing problems here for Peters. Here he is again. And this time it's on the pads of Peters. He's going to get a leg by. So that was a good delivery.
Yes, he's a youth player that has just made it onto the Leewards on the 15 team. I think he's 13 years old. And normally he bats very well. And he's definitely one for the future, of course. I hope that he really should go on and represent the Leewards on the 15 team this time around. And because I really don't see Leewards cricket having at least 15 or 16 better cricketers at this level than Jonathan Edwards. And Nathan Edwards, really. As he's going to bowl this time.
So who he plays for locally?
He plays for the youth team. Of course, he's in the development process. So there's a youth team known as the Future Champs here. And he plays for that Future Champs bat number 3. And normally he gets his 40s and 30s on a regular basis. I think the last match he must have gotten at least 3 or 4 wickets.
This is pulled away by Chandapal for 4. Short delivery. He had enough time to go back onto the back foot and just pick his spot.
A short delivery, and Chandapal, who plays for Guyana, so he would be one who have immense experience, just to wait on the back foot and helped it over the man in that mid-wicket position and into the boundary. It's gone to 26 now from 17 balls, the total 57 for 2, and they're scoring the runs at 8.3 runs and over so far.
Here is Edwards again. He bowls, and this time this delivery is forced away down to long off for 1. So 1 more to the total. I want to say welcome to Tanvir Iqbal, member of the Mac TV team that's here for the coverage. Just caught Shamila having a bite of a saltfish and bake from this morning. And it's an enormous sandwich. And she's probably going to keep that for the entire day. She's not going to share it with Keith.
That was another 89 runs required from, I think it's what, 6 or 7 balls. And the Spartans is very much on its way. And it looks as though Shaquille Martina is going to pick up the attack from the commentary box in, and he'll be bowling to Ryan Chandapal, who has 27 really. And he's been batting fairly well. And Peters has 9 from 8 deliveries. The batsman out so far. Louis was bowled off stump by Ali for no score. Carty was LBW to Ali for, I think, 12. And ever since then, this partnership has been growing between Peters and, of course, Chandapal. And they would want it to continue if you were a Spartan supporter. Of course, Shaquille Martina, he studies there in Barbados. He has also flown in here for this match. Didn't get many with the bat this morning, probably might have been 1. But he would want to do a lot better with the ball. Normally he bowls off spin, turns the ball fairly sharply as he's around the wicket now to bowl.
Well, it's a ring of fielders just from backward point coming around on the offside, because Chandapal is a deflector, a nudger. Let's see, he's going to get the ball to turn away from the left-hander. Chandapal is eyeing the onside. There's no one in the 30-yard circle on the onside. So inviting for him to just look for 1, probably play it slowly, try to get 2. And Chandapal could be out. The wicketkeeper has taken the catch. He was in two minds. He was looking to play on the onside. So this is brilliant captaincy here by LeBlanc. He was looking to play on the onside because he created that. And of course, Martin getting the ball to turn away from him. And in two minds, crossed in between two minds before he could have decided what he wanted to do. The ball took the edge of the bat. It went airborne. And Chandapal has left the arena for 27, 58 for 3, and that's an important breakthrough.
An important breakthrough to a very bad delivery. It was a long hop, very short, and bounced up, and Chandapal trying to tug the ball in the onside. Top edge found, and the ball just looped in the air where the wicketkeeper Reynolds just came in and took the catch. But it was a nothing delivery, and as I speak, Akeem Charles, the left-handed batsman, is going to go to join forces with Peters, and the Spartans replying to 146 made by the combined United team this morning. At this stage, they are 58 now for the loss of 3. We are in 7 points. 1 over's gone so far, and this battle is very much on the way.
At the moment. So Sherwin Peters, his role becomes so much more important now. He is on 9.
Still Cruikshank and Barnwell to come, Kenroy David. Of course, there's a lot of batting in this Spartans team, but these two batters wouldn't want to leave it for no one else. They would need to stick around and do the necessities to get across the finish line. And of course, they need the next 89 runs from 65 balls. If they can do that, that would register the first win in this Cricket4Life T20 tournament played here. St. Martin for the very first time. Of course, the crowd continues to build. It is expected that by tomorrow afternoon, going into Saturday and Sunday, we should have massive crowds out here viewing the proceedings.
Charles is going to take strike now. Charles, wide open stance. He comes in on balls. His delivery is outside the off stump. Martina holds his head. Probably thought that he could have breached the defense. So lovely settings here. We're actually nestled in between the mountains. Martina bowls, and that delivery goes through to the wicketkeeper.
Looking at Shakil's actions, very suspect to me. And to me, the arm is not going completely over. So it just might be a bit of chucking in that. Something that he needs to rectify. I don't know how many umpires have seen him so far. But a solitary step has not been brought to play.
Yeah, he comes in again and bowls. And the bowls are similar to Mutam Muralitharan. Probably has a double jointed wrist. Who knows?
I don't think so, Vinud.
But the last ball, the ball that you spoke about, it also caught my attention, and this is good running. In fact, he could be in trouble. He's back in. So good running by Peters. He was able to play it away on the onside slowly, and the field is set right back. Farhan Ali could not prevent a double. The score is 60 for 3. Charles 2, Peters 9. This time Martinez created some problems here. It's the end of an over from him that got a wicket. And just 2 runs coming. 60 for 3. It's the end of over. That should be over number 9. Or is it over number 8? Over number 8.
The 8 overs, the score is 60 for 3. Peters is unbeaten on 9. And Charles, he has 2. So good over from Martina. One that yielded only 2 runs. Picked up the wicket of Chandapal in the process. The comeback will need to string a few more of those overs together and give themselves a chance of really restricting the Spartans this afternoon. Of course, after this match there will be another one starting. Adam Stanford All-Stars will be doing battle against the team. And of course, up and sees that LeBlanc is going to bowl right arm around the wicket to Hakeem Charles, who's had a stint with the Leeward Islands senior team in the one-day version. As LeBlanc to bowl to Charles. Charles is looking to go somewhere in the region of mid-wicket, but in the end not really making contact. And clearly he was intent to hit that ball for 6. And the ball crashed into the batsman pad somehow. And there is no damage done. No addition to the score, 67 for 3. As Charles walks back into his stance now and looks up and sees that LeBlanc is very much with him. Right arm around the wicket to bowl to Charles. And Charles is defending back to the bowler who feels well. And there can be no addition to the score. 67 for 3. LeBlanc comes up to bowl to Charles, who is yet to score. And in fact, he's beat outside the line of the off stump really. And wicketkeeper not really collecting cleanly. Charles has 2. Peters has 16 from 10 balls. And the run rate so far is 7.7 runs and over. So far 7 runs has been scored in this over with some from 4 deliveries, as Charles hits this high and hard over the boundary for 6 runs.
Well, that's a big hit there. So Charles, ever since coming in, he showed the intention. His intention was clear. He was looking to go for big shots, and he connected with that. And that's 6 more, 73 for 3. So the balance is now tilting towards the Spartans.
Well, they have played really well. I think they've lost, 3 wickets so far, and I think all the batsmen will probably say, well, we should not have lost the wicket. Well, to me, Ali can bowl very well. Ali bowled very well, and I probably would be tempted to give him that 4th over to see if he get another wicket or 2 for the combined team. So Shakil is going to bowl to Sherwin Peters, and we'll have a look at the field for you. There is a solitary slip, a backward point. There will be a man right back on the pint boundary. Instead of a backward point, there's an extra cover. Short third man. Short square leg, a man out on the square leg boundary. There's a long on, a very short wicket, a long off. As Martina will go into bowl to Peters once more. So we've not yet seen the services of Joel Brown with the ball, who normally opens the bowling here in local cricket. But not on this occasion. Still, Jamie Cornelius can bowl a few. So we'll have to wait and see exactly what transpires. So there is a Martina right arm over the wicket to bowl to Peters. And Peters goes on a back foot and crashes it out towards the cover region. We'll get at least 1. And the batsman misfield, and could it be a chance of a run out? In fact, Peters is home. Had it been a return right over the bails, it might have been pretty interesting. But the batsman realizing that the fielder out there looks like, is it John L. Eugene? And couldn't get the ball in quickly enough. And the batsman crossed for 2 runs. So 2 more to Peters, which takes him now to 18. Let's go 75 for 3. So here is Martina once more. That's Kieran Pemberton out on the cover boundary. Eugene is at point. And Shaquille Martina is at the top of his mark, preparing to go into bowl to Peters, as the umpires has gone into square leg position. Here is Martina as he goes into bowl to Peters once more. Peters goes back and turns it in the onside and negates a single. Charles was interested. Edwards, of course, feeling that very strongly wicket position prevented the single. 75 for the loss of 3. And here is Martin in the course of his second over to bowl to Peters. And Peters hits this somewhere in the onside. He'll get at least 2 runs, and good feeling there from Joel with a very strong return back to the wicketkeeper. And I really thought I would have gone past him for 4, but that was good cricket. And just ran across his right, and as he stuck out that telescopic hand, the ball found himself in the palms, and with a very strong return, found its way back to the wicketkeeper. The total was advanced to 77 for the loss of 3. Here is Martina as he prepares to go into bowl to Peters once more. Peters is pushing it out to the cover region. Will get at least one, and Ali the fielder dive in to prevent the ball from going beyond him, and 1 run scored. So Peters has gone to 21, and the score now 78 for the loss of 3. We're in 9. We are in the 10th over now, and after this, of course, it will be another 8 overs remaining. Partnership so far has yielded some 20 runs. Martinez wants an adjustment to his field. The wicket is going to come to cover point position, and everyone has been pushed to the right. So good field set so far from Martina, and I hope he can bowl the line to the field that he has set. First ever T20 tournament in stage here in St. Martin, Cricket4Life as it is called. As Martinez around the wicket to bowl to Akeem. Akeem is beat upside and out of the off stump. The bail removed. The question asks, umpire Stapleton said not out. And Akeem Charles would just need to free himself a bit. And Martinez has been bowling well. So far he has bowled 1.5 was in the stake, 1 for 7. He would want that exploits to continue as he is going to Charles. So there's a third man backward point. Waits as he comes in out to bowl to Charles. Charles is staying it out towards the backward point region. Sets off for a single. Very early they were showing Peters. And in the end, they're home for the single. So the total advances by 1. 78 for the loss of 3. 10 overs are gone. And of course, they have progressed fairly nicely here so far.
Well, 79 for 1. If they continue at this rate, they should get home. And a good over though from Martina, just 6 in it. So 2 overs, 1 for 8 from him. And Peters is on 21, Charles is on 9. So these two big hitters of the cricket ball. Peters has really thrilled everyone who has seen him so far here today. The crowd building up and the fans here braving the very hot weather to be out there.
Well, the players are having a bit of confront. It looks as though Eugene, in fact, it's Roland LeBlanc. So who's going to go back to the off spinner?
Well, Shah is going to continue, your favorite player. He's going to bowl left arm around the wicket from the Century Hills end.
Well, for him it would be redemption time. He certainly needs to redeem himself after bowling that first over. And with Akeem Charles in the middle, he really hits the ball a long way when he middles it. And he would fancy his chances of clearing these boundaries here with ultimate ease. Another 8 overs to go. So LeBlanc has bowled just a solitary over and has taken himself off, and I was going to bring Shah back on to see if he can buy a wicket or 2.
Yes, so Shah is looking to redeem himself, as Keith was saying. So went for 11. So he's going to bowl to Peters. In fact, he's bowling to Charles. Charles is looking to go tong-tong. Yeah, he is looking to go tong-tong, and he's very lucky. That could have easily crashed into his stumps.
In the dark there, Akeem Charles was looking to hit the ball somewhere over mid-wicket. And he can play the ball over cover as well. And he'll probably need to look at in which direction the ball is turning and try to play the ball in that direction. But in mental aspect, he was held bent on hitting the ball in the onside. Shawan Peters is a much more technical player. So let's wait and watch what his approach will be.
So Shah's going to go around the wicket to bowl to Peters. He's on 21, 80 for 3. Here he is. He comes in, bowls to Peters. Peters drives nicely down to the cover position. Farhan Ali, very energetic, fast in the return. So Shah to continue the attack. So he'll be taking the ball into Peters, and that's the danger. Peters will be looking to go over mid-wicket, but there's a strong wind. So if the ball hangs in the air for any length of time, he could find himself in problem. This time he's back, flicks it around the corner. They take one, they come back for two. They may contemplate three, but they stay. So two more, and the score goes on to 83 now for three.
Well, a bad delivery there from Shah. In terms of the line, you would want to bowl the ball outside the line of the off stump. And he didn't do that, and 2 runs scored. Akeem Charles has gone to 12 as Shah comes into bowl to him now. Short delivery, and he's pulling out towards the long on region. And he will have to settle for a single. Gabriel is the fielder. And the score pushes on by 1 now to 84 for the loss of 3. Of course, this is in reply to 146 made by the combined United team this morning. And Spartans so far has been replying fairly strongly. Here is Shah from the far end as he comes up now to bowl to Peters, who has 22. And Peters gets a delivery outside the line of the off stump, looking to go over extra cover. And in the end, no contact being made as Renal whipped off the bails. And there's no addition to the score. So the scoring rate so far is 7.8 runs and over. Required rate is around 8. Peters is off the back foot, pushes it out towards the long on region. John L. Eugene comes off the boundary. Can't prevent the single, which takes Peters now to 23. And the score now to 85 for the loss of 3. So after 11 overs are gone, replying to 146 made by the combined United team this morning, Spartans, there are 85 for the loss of 3.
Well, it's nearing lunchtime, and Cotty is going to search for lunch. He tells me the local dish here is chicken leg with Johnny cakes. I don't know. I'm sure that Carty knows about that very well.
Very much so, very much so.
So that's a local dish, Carty?
I think you can call it that, chicken leg and Johnny cake.
Dish?
I think it could very well be the chicken leg and Johnny cake, because that is so famous here in St. Martin, especially during carnival time, which is only, 2 months away. And of course, you'll see lots of that. Of course, there are other dishes as well, but chicken leg and Johnny cake is the local dish as far as I'm concerned.
Well, Martina Boho, that's an audacious shot. Martina bowls in the slot, and Peter shows his class.
There we see.
Yep, that goes airborne. That could have brought down a plane. And lands for 6.
Colossal shot played by Peters, really. And when you look at this guy, he bats one wonders, why can't he be a part of the Leeward Islands setup? Because he's been there, didn't do too well in terms of his averages, but you can clearly see that he has the talent. He lived in Trinidad a very long time, of course. Played cricket there for Queen's Park for Queen's Park team. And he's now back residing in St. Martin, but with shots like that, it only says what a man can really do.
He's back, looks to pull this away, signal wide. So Martina, we've been looking at his action.
I think Peters is about 27 or 28 years old as Martina goes into bowl to him once more. And there we see one that really turned very sharply. And Martinez always spun the ball very sharply. Of course, I think he was a product of my coaching when I used to coach the youth team. And he's on his way now to bowl to Peters. Short delivery off the back foot goes Peters and hits the ball out towards cover. Nathan does a much better job on this occasion. Prevents, in fact, he couldn't prevent the single, but the total advances by 1 now to 92 for the loss of 3.
So it's 93 for 3. 30 to Peters. Charles is on 13. And I think if I were a betting man, I would put my money with the Spartans at this point in time. Shamila is saying no. Charlene, sorry, saying no. This delivery's cut away nicely. It's going to go into the boundary for 4. Just given the width, and Charles went back and across, and he was able to pierce the offside field, which is a packed offside field, down to the boundary for 4.
Well, of course, he struck that equidistantly between, I think it's point and backward point, and the man running around from cover just could not have gotten there. And the ball has gone into the boundary for 4, which takes the total out to 97 for the loss of 3. Akeem Charles goes to 17, and Peters has 30 from 20 balls, and another 50 runs required from 38 balls. So they might be very much on the way. Still Cruikshank and Barnwell, and of course Kenwright David, Damien Williams still to come, Daniel Durham. There are a lot of batting still in this team, and these two would want to finish the job.
This is short and wide, and dropped again by the captain of all people, LeBlanc. He is not picking up those deliveries today.
Well, normally Molan catches well, but he's dropped 2 today. First case, he dropped him at mid-wicket, and now Akeem Charles, who in my view was backing away from a delivery that was turning away from him. So the ball struck the bottom portion of the bat and went straight to Molan there at cover, but he spilled the catch. And of course, Akeem Charles has gone on to 18, the total now 98 for 3, as Martina goes into bowl to Peters.
This is a delivery well pitched up, going down the leg side, not out says the umpire. So it's the end of the over, the end of over number 12. 98 for 3, so 49 now to get in 6 overs. You would fancy the chances of Spartan?
Yes, I would back Spartans to win this match. Martina's been bowling well. He's taken, what, 1 wicket for 21 runs from 3 overs so far. So 6 overs to get, what, 49 runs? They would really have to probably put their foot on the accelerator. Don't allow the combined United team to really have a chance, really, and win this match convincingly. So you have, what, 36 balls to get 40 runs. Of course, there will be some boundaries in the process, so that will bring down the rate, of course. And with Peters going very well on 30, I think he picked up, what, was it 4 wickets this morning?
Yes, 4 for 22.
And now with 30, very much as for the match. Good performances came from John L. Eugene. He got 6 for 6, I think, from 44 balls. But Shawan Peters, right on my view, will have his nose slightly ahead.
And of course, that 4 for 22 included a hat trick.
And Akeem Charles down on his legs, attempting to sweep the ball. And in the end, no contact made. Aisha comes into bowl him once more.
This time he pulls this one away. It's going to go down to deep mid-wicket. He runs around and gets a single. So Charles gets 1 more. The score reaches 100. It's now 100 for 3.
100 for 3, so 47 more runs still. And Shawan Peters and Akeem Charles would want to finish this. They wouldn't want to leave it for no one else to do. And they will want to get themselves across the line. Here is shot to bowl to Peters, who is missed time on the delivery, over long on, or even straight over the side screen. But in the end, that did not materialize, and the score is kept on 99 for the loss of 3.
So the next game coming up at 2 o'clock. This time Shah bowls, and this is going to go way into the car park for 6 runs. So 6 more to Peters, and the score goes on to 105 now for 3.
That's a very huge hit, and if you notice, he really struck it fairly straight. It was in the arc basically, and he just swung to the line, and from the time he made contact, the ball was always destined to go out of the park really for 6 runs. He has now gone to 36 and continues to show his class as a batsman, and I don't know, but this guy should definitely be around Leeward Islands team in my estimation.
Well, you have been making that plug for the entire day. The score is 105 for 3. Here is Shah again. He comes in now on bowls, and Peters is pulling at this. He could be out caught. In fact, it goes through the hands of the fielder down there, and that goes for 6 runs. So another 6, back-to-back 6s. Shah is not enjoying himself, As none for 30. Yeah, it's now Nelson, 111 for 3.
Of course, Peters continues to do what he does best, and I'm a serious advocate. I don't question my knowledge of this game. Honestly, I know a good batsman when I sees one, and of course, he is a good batsman.
So Peters moves on now to 42. Of course, he took a hat-trick this morning en route to 4 for 22. He waits on Shah, and this is driven straight down the ground. Gets one. That's losing his shape a bit. And he goes on now to 43.
All another what? Peters has 43, the total 112. Of course, he has been the mainstay of this Spartan innings so far. And Charles has given him good support. He's 19 from 18. And the score is 112 for the loss of 3. So some 35 more runs required from 30 balls. And these two would want to stick around, get whatever runs they are required to win this match. But in my view, I will have to get Ali back in here somehow to try and pick up another wicket or two. So Martinez seemingly will continue. So far he has bowled 3 overs and has taken 1 for 21. And the last over yielding what? 14 runs. And Martina will no doubt want to bowl a much tighter over than that, as he makes an adjustment to his field. So there is a backward point, a long off a cover. There's also extra cover. There's also a short mid-wicket, a short backward square, mid-wicket and a long on. As Martina comes in out to bowl to Peters. Peters goes on the back foot and plays it with soft hands in the offside and sets off for a single, which gets him now his 44th run and the 114th run for the Spartans team. And of course, the run rate so far is 8.6, required rate 7 to win this match. So these two so far has batted very well and will want to continue. 4 runs from 29 balls, and Martina will bowl right arm around the wicket to Akeem Charles, who has been really swinging for the boundaries but not really making contact. In my estimation, she should try and walk the ball around and get Sean Peters on strike. Here is Martina as he comes in out to bowl to the batsman, who punches it to the left of LeBlanc, who dives, but in the end couldn't prevent the single, which takes Charles now to 20 and brings Sean Peters on strike. He has 44 from 26 deliveries, and when he bowled this morning, I think he picked up some 4 wickets, including a hat-trick. So he has had a very good match so far, and Spartans very much on the way to win this match. Here is Martinez. He goes in out to bowl to Peters. Peters hits this over the bowler's head, not with much timing. Second, in fact, it changes the mind as Ali his right prevented what possibly could have been 2 runs, but in the end kept it down to a single, 115 out for the loss of 3.
So 115 for 3. They continue to motor along. And would it be a case of bringing Farhan Ali back too late?
Well, he only has 1 over left, so in my estimation, he'll have to bowl probably the next over to see if he can get a wicket or 2 and put some pressure on the Spartans team. Of course, the General Auto Repair Spartans team, they've just acquired that sponsorship not too long, and so far they've
and this is outside the off stump. His Faki is going inside out and into the boundary for 4. So Charles gets into the act now, and that's 4 more. I think he was confident in playing that shot because of the fact that Martina is taking the ball away, spinning the ball away from him. So he was very confident in playing that shot.
A much better shot, hitting the ball through extra cover instead of opting to tug it in the onside with Martina bowling the ball wide of the off stump and even turning further away. I think that's a much better option. Martinez, he goes into bowl to him once more, and there we see him swinging for the boundary once more, not really making contact.
Well, I don't think he was swinging for the boundary there, Keith, I think he was swinging for the United States. And he picked up with that one.
But if he middled it, it normally goes a far away. But Martin is turning the ball away from him pretty sharply.
Ball him. He went back, looking to pull, and Martina pushed a quicker one through, and he is out. He has castled him 119 for 4. This now, as Charles leaves for 24, this is the opportune moment to bring back Farhan Ali.
Yes, very, very well observed. And I think Martina has held his own. He's taken, what, 2 for 28 from 3.5 over so far. And probably Cruikshank or Barnwell might go into bat next. And what is important for Spartans is that Shawan Peters remains there. He cannot afford to get out at this stage with the runs not much to get, but it's going to be very important that he stays there. Quick shot. No, that's Barnwell. That's Barnwell. Christopher Barnwell.
No, 47 is Cruikshank.
Darren Cruikshank. Huh? Darren Cruikshank is the new man out there?
Yeah, number 47.
Yes, it is Darren Cruikshank, a hard-hitting Queen's Park batsman. So Ali is back. So as a lovely day here for cricket, a perfect day for cricket here in St. Martin, and to the peak of the Century Hills, you can see the cloud cover just going over it. It's very cool up there. Our friend Charlene, I think, will want to go up there tomorrow and zip line down. I think Keith Carty will make all the arrangements, but he would not be responsible if you came down quicker than 45 seconds. Yes.
Tell me about the adventure.
You can look at it there, Keith. Probably you can describe it to us.
Oh.
Oh. Well,
my heart is not that strong anymore. Not that I would have tried it in my younger days.
so you're telling me you have never tried it?
I've never tried it, and I won't try that.
Here is Farhan Ali from the far end, the Century Hills end. He comes in and bowls, and this delivery is muscled away by Peters, who's probably seeing the ball as big as a breadfruit right now. Gets a single. He goes on now to 47. It's 121 for 4.
And Cruikshank, the new batsman, he comes down to half strike. Ali, of course, Ali is in his 4th over. He's already taken 2 for 13. He has bowled 3.1 over so far. Spartans will need to be very careful as they approach this 147.
Here is Ali again. He comes in now on bowls, and that's a good delivery. Just back off a line, pushed away to point. There's a mix-up. Cruikshank wanted a single. He's annoyed that he didn't get it. He's sent back by Peters. These two would know a lot about each other, playing together for Queen's Park.
I thought it was an easy single. Peters was
Yes, it was.
very early, and Cruikshank just watched the ball and decided that I'm not moving, and had Shari got his hand around the ball, could have easily had a wicket via the run-out route.
Well, it was actually Peters' call. And he did make the right call, but Cruikshank didn't go for the single. Ali is not comfortable with the run-up. If you go on that end of the ground, you would realize that there's a hump.
Yeah.
As you can see, Ali, he's now walking up.
Very correctly observed.
And that is probably playing on his mind at the moment. As a bowler, you don't want anything to be playing on your mind as you run into bowl. It hasn't seemed to have affected him thus far. in terms of his performance. He goes in here now again and bowls another good delivery. Pushed away on the offside by Darren Cruikshank, and there is no run.
Cruikshank guilty of ball watching. I think the delivery earlier than that could have been off the strike, would have also had one. And the more prolific striker in Sean Peters so far would have been on strike, but that was not to be. Total is now 120 for the loss of 4. So so far has yielded 1 run, so just 2 dots in the process so far. And here we see Cruikshank the bails, as we've told you much earlier, that there is a stiff breeze going across this ground that would have blown the bails off ever so often.
And here is Farhan Ali. He comes in now, up to the wicket, bowls. That's a good delivery. And Cruikshank getting back off a length. So he's doing the right thing to the back end of the innings here. He's just going back off a length. And they have to look out because he's been looking to slip in that Yorker. He's also a very good bowler of the Yorker. And Farhan Ali, I think, will definitely, after this tournament in the Caribbean, he would catch the eyes of some of the Caribbean officials in terms of CPL as their foreign, the United States player, rest of America's player, so to speak. He turns at the far end.
Another 26 runs required for victory. 6 runs, so he has taken 2 for 21 from 4. Nevertheless, a very good bowling performance from him. He really had the Spartans under early pressure when he removed Louis for no spun, then Casey Carty for 16, but unable to pick up another wicket here, and Spartans won 28 now for 4.
So 128 for 4. We've seen a number of 6s. Our scorer would tell us exactly how many we've seen so far today. Score at the moment 128 for 4. So just 3 overs. 3 overs to go. We've seen 6 6s today and 12 4s.
Well, this is by no means a huge feat. Boundary from this, the commentary box end, out towards the onside, that's fairly big, and out towards extra cover, but all the other boundaries in my view is fairly on the short side. So John Eugene is
so a total of 7 6s in so far in the tournament, and 21 4s have been struck, as the series pulled just out of the reach of Captain LeBlanc. And they go back for 2.
So John Eugene is bowling from this commentary box end. He'll be bowling to Peters, who has 47. A short delivery, bang to the offside. Well, this going to the boundary from the top. Pemberton is on the boundary. Peters settles for a single, which takes his score now to 50. So 50 has come up for Sean Peters. He has done that from 31 deliveries, of course. The final score here now is 134 for the loss of 4. We're in the 16th over, and Peters goes down to have a congratulatory word or 2 from Cruikshank. And Cruikshank, the batsman, goes into strike. He's going to do battle with John Eugene.
So the second half century in this match, John Eugene, the man who's bowling, got 66. Now Peters is on 50. Cruikshank is going to take strike. And this is a massive hit down the ground. And a lovely bit of fielding. That was struck very hard by Cruikshank.
Very ferociously struck by Cruikshank, of course. He already struck a 6 in the last delivery of the previous over. And he has gone to 8 now. Strike to John Eugene, puts it out to Joel Brown on the boundary. It was not a difficult match because he didn't really get any runs, and he hasn't bowled a ball in this inning so far. And by the look of things, I don't think he probably will bowl again today. And 133 now for 4.
So 14 required for victory. Here is John Eugene outside. There's a lot of people caught behind. He's out. So he's out, caught behind. Darren Cruikshank leaves. A cameo he played. He made just 8. 133, and that's wicket number 5.
Of course, Cruikshank just looking to steer the ball down to the third man region, and with the keeper standing up straight into the keeper's gloves, who held on to see the back of Cruikshank. So the 5th wicket has fallen, and they still need another 14 runs from 13 balls. So whether Barnwell or Ken Roy David will go into bat, we'll have to wait and see. Of course, that would be to get them across the finish line. So it looks as though Christopher Barnwell is going to have a knock in the middle with Sean Peters, who has 51 from 32.
Yes, and it's getting very close down to the end. But I think once Sean Peters is there, it's going to be a walk in the park, really. 14 to get. And at the end of this over, there'll be 13 deliveries to get it. In fact, it's 13 deliveries now to get 14 runs. Peters is well set on 51. And here comes the all-rounder, Christopher Barnwell.
Well, this game is never really over until the last run has been scored. So we'll have to wait and see what transpires between now and the remaining 2 overs. But Barnwell is going to go down to half strike to John L. Eugene. And he has also had a good match, 6 for 6 from 44 balls. Now with a wicket, 1 from 5 he's taken so far. And Barnwell is marking his guard, looks around and sees that there is a mid-wicket long on and long off. There's also a man sweeping on the cover boundary as Eugene comes in to bowl to him now. A short delivery banged off the back foot out towards the sweep on the cover boundary. Pemberton comes in, prevents the second. So Barnwell off the mark immediately. And the total advances by 1 out of 134 for the loss of 5.
Yeah, so 134 for 5. Barnwell keeps the strike. 13 to get in 2 overs, 5 wickets in hand. I think he would favour Keith, the batting side.
Yeah, very much so, Vinod. But of course, you can lose another wicket or 2 that can bring some pressure to bear on the other batsman to come. And we often know what pressure does. And who really handles the pressure best normally goes on to win the match. So Spartans wouldn't really want to lose a wicket or 2 here. These 2 don't need to finish the job. It looks as though Kean Pemberton is going to bowl from the far end. So he'll be bowling to Christopher Barnwell, who has 1. Peters has 51. And of course, these 2 would need to take this match across the finish line.
So Pemberton, is it?
Pemberton, Kean Pemberton.
Keon Pemberton, he's going to continue from the far end. And he is going to bowl to Christopher Barnwell. Leans forward, a big man, long approach. Oh, that's a good delivery. Keeps a bit low. One to Barnwell, and Cutty is back. Man of his word. In fact, Cutty has sent one of his board members with the food, chicken legs and Johnny cakes. Well done, Cutty. You only took 3 hours today to bring it. That's a great improvement, Cutty. Here is Pemberton. And looking to whip this on the onside, and the umpire belatedly signals wide. This one strikes him on the pad, gets a single.
That's been a good over so far. At least no boundary has been scored from Pemberton. He would just need to continue to minimize the amount of runs being scored after this, and then leave it all up to the last over. So who the last over with you, Vinu?
Well, Martina has bowled out. Farhan Ali has bowled out. I think they may want to go back to Jonel Eugene because he got a wicket in the last over. They might well trust the young man to hold his nerve if it gets down to that. Pemberton bowls, good delivery. So Pemberton is bowling a good over here. He's looking to push this game into the last over. So far, he is bowling.
More deliveries remaining in this over. Can we keep it down to, let's say, at least a run or two? And leave instead of the last over.
This time, this is whipped away. So that boundary kills off any hope, I think, of the combines coming back in this one.
Well, there's still 7 runs to get renewed, and I know this game is a very funny one. I think what is required of the Spartans is that they